All right, in Atlanta, we have an unarmed African American man. He was killed by the cops. Now, I watched the whole video. It happened in the Wendy's parking lot around Friday night, and the police were called. He was just, I believe they were doing patrol or whatever. And the gentleman, he was intoxicated, saying that he having an interesting dialogue with the police while he was there. He was with his baby mother, or he had kids, and he was coming from North Carolina. Was pretty much drunk, and just I don't think he was disturbing the peace, but he probably was just sitting in the parking lot for long periods of time. So the police wanted to know what was going on, what he was doing. So I think the police officers did have intentions to go ahead and de-escalate the situation, but they still had to do the protocol. And then one of the officers, Mr. Rolfe, he decided to give him a breathalyzer test. Okay, he was like, okay, listen, will you take this breathalyzer test for me? All right. Then go ahead and go on your way. It's your choice. So he gave him the option. Not too many officers would give you an option. They usually just force it upon you. And he stood up here and said, yeah, okay, well, I'll go ahead and take the test. He didn't know what it was. He had no knowledge of it. It seemed like he was really distorted. So he ended up taking the test. And I guess I don't know if he blew a .08, but officer was like, okay, yeah, you're too drunk to go home or whatever, do anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and arrest you. Now I think that in that particular time, maybe he wanted to, detain him for that situation, or he was gonna charge him or just put him to the county until the alcohol wears off in his system. He'd go ahead and go in this way. So who knows where that situation is going to turn out with. But as soon as he put his hand behind his back and started to arrest him, he began to resist, and he ended up wrestling with the cops. I mean, he took both of them and managed to take one of the dude's tasers and ran away. Now, he ran away. I don't think he was trying to use the taser on him. It didn't look like in the video, but it did. He took the taser away from the cops and ran away, and he got shot in the back 3 times. And, deadly force was used just because he was utilizing, he took the, I guess that's a deadly weapon in a way, the taser. You can really hurt someone. And you say, hey, I got to do what I got to do. People thought, hey, he should have chased him down and go ahead and arrest him. We don't know if he had a gun on him. We didn't know he had a knife on him. And I'm not condoning what the police has done, but at the same time, as looking at this and analyzing the whole situation, I put my full emotions in it. We became putting ourselves in these situations. It's sad that this young man lost his life. Of course, the whole George Floyd, people want to defund the police. You have the social justice warriors want to defund the police department. That's maybe a bad thing in a way, because you still need corporations to be protected and people. God forbid, if you don't have guns or you don't have your Second Amendment rights, you want the police officers to go ahead and handle situations, daily situations, man, because they're, equipped and highly trained. But, when you see this, an individual here, people burning down the Wendy's. Wendy's had nothing to do with this. You got rioters going ahead just tearing up so many things, and this is really taking out the fact that what we're really protesting for is equality and justice for African Americans in the Justice Department. It really reminds me in the situations when we couldn't, as African Americans, man, they were getting charged their 8th Amendment, just unreasonable search and punishment for low-level offenses, man. It was really ridiculous. Like, you go back to Alexander Ray Hamilton, he was charged for murder, something that he didn't do in the 1980s, and he was on death row for over 30 years in Alabama, and they're known for putting people and executing individuals that had nothing to do with the crime. And it was very inspiring, man, when Brian Stevenson came in and stepped up to the plate and helped them out, but mentally and spiritually, he was really deranged. He was messed up. Can you imagine being secluded and isolated in the system for a crime that you didn't do? Now with this here, it's sad, just to see this. And this reminds me of Joe Reed when in Indiana, when there was a black man, he was a United States Airman, and he decided to run away from the cops for a speeding violation. Yes, he shouldn't have got killed, but I don't know, man. I'm just thinking that this way, man. I'm just kind of speechless at this moment, like the way our country is. How's law enforcement and people in general. I don't know if people just asking for it. I'm not saying, Rashard Brooks was asking for this, man, but at the same time, they could have tackled him. They could have tased him back. They could have beat him down. We just didn't want to just see another black man getting killed. When you're in situations like that, your heart is racing. It's so many things you want to do, but, quick to use the gun to go ahead and kill down the suspect. But I just really felt like if they was just allowed to arrest him, or he just wasn't drunk, intoxicated in the Wendy's parking lot, he wouldn't be in that situation. But it's another sad thing. Some people say he probably still living, who knows. But I mean, was it justified what the police has done? I don't know. I mean, I think both were in the wrong. It's just hard to say at this moment. You know, still emotions arising from the George Floyd man, who was just killed unjustly for no apparent reason. But that's all I really have to say in here, man. It's time for us to really think and put our minds together, especially for the African American congregation that I'm actually involved in. We actually trying to get into solutions and problem solving, and that's what we want to do, man. We don't want to see any brothers getting killed in the hands of law enforcement. We gotta really mitigate that, man. Seriously. But this your boy Young Lee Jr. You guys between like, comment, subscribe. What you guys thoughts on this? This is my thoughts on that. I'm like literally 50-50 and neutral on this. Do you think the cop was in the right for utilizing deadly force and shooting this young man? For going ahead and taking his weapon? Who knows, man? But this your boy Young Lee Jr. I'm out. Deuces.